we've got Dr. Karuna joining us in the studio to talk to us about all things health and wellness. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Welcome back. It's been, I don't know, 6 months?
7 months.
Oh, you counting?
7 months. We did it in August, I think. Yeah, so it's,
Nice.
so it's 4, 3, 7 months.
We had a good chat, but I think we ran out of time, didn't we? We wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
As we always do with this topic. It's an endless topic, isn't it?
Yeah.
One question leads to another. I mean, the body is so complex, and the mind, and it's all embodied, isn't it, in Ayurveda, body, mind, soul?
Yeah. So because now we talk about the gut-brain axis, so we have to keep our gut healthy, we have to have a calming mind, and then we have to eat a good food so that we can nourish our brain. So, and it goes vice versa. Therefore, everyday discipline and eating good food, and then we can improve our gut habits, our microbiome, and then we can be healthy, and increase our immunity, because it's all start with gut, because in the small intestine we have our immunity. It's 70% of our immunity the nourishment is absorbed in there. So if you're eating a good food, then all your blood cells will have a good oxygen and good nutrition, so that can repair our cells, because the repair and formation of the cells happen in the body every mini seconds. So we are just breaking new cells and making, and all those things are happening. So new RBCs are made 180 days. So therefore we say the gut lining changes in 6 months. So therefore you have to keep up your diet. So any patient or anybody who comes to the clinic, so we have to improve the diet, and we say if you want to see the changes, you have to stick to us for at least 6 months.
That's right. What did you say happens in 180 days? The blood changes?
Yeah, the RBCs, new RBCs are made. Therefore, we do the blood donations, because so we can easily donate the blood, because the new RBC cells are made every 180 days.
But it was interesting how you said just then, that just before, that our cells are changing every second, and that's sort of it gives us hope too. When our body's out of balance and we're experiencing ill health, at least we know that our cells are always got another chance to renew. And if we eat well and change our diet, you hear people saying you can just eat well for like a day or two and you feel better already. Yeah.
So like if you have had a good diet, then probably in the morning you have a good breakfast, you will be energetic. But if you have probably not a good diet and filled with trans fatty acid, you will be already drained, because your body is not able to burn it or give you energy, because it takes a longer time to break it, because it's all about the metabolism. So if you have eaten something and it breaks down easily, then the body gets energy really nicely. But if it's not broken down by the stomach acids and all your biles and pancreas and pancreatic juices, then you feel drained. So therefore you have to have a nice, easy, fresh, light and easy food sometimes, and in winter especially, filled with all your proteins, different proteins. If you're a vegetarian, then probably a good amount of protein can be added easily. But if you are a vegan, then probably seeds, like most people eat now, chia seed pudding in the morning, which is really good.
Do you eat that?
I eat that, but normally in winters we eat more warming food. So we'll be talking today about the mung dal pancake.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love mung dal. That's
so that's a very nourishing and very high protein diet.
So if you can just explain to us what that is.
So mung dal is basically a type of a dal which we say in Ayurveda is a very nourishing and has got a very high proteins in there, and it's very easily digestible. Even a patient who is sick can even digest that sort of a thing. So we do different recipes with that. We can sprout the mung dal. So when we sprout the mung dal, it becomes a very rich source of vitamin E. So when we talk about the immunity, then for immunity and needing a base for the immunity, we need a good amount of vitamin A, E and C. So vitamin A is there in all your carrots, pumpkin, all the things which have got high carotenoids, like green leafy vegetables and carrots and pumpkins and mangoes. So these are things which are rich in vitamin A. So, and vitamin C is rich in all your navel oranges, all the vitamin C, like the grapes are there in the market, the blueberries is there in the market, so you can have a bunch of them. And then the E is basically we get from all your, if you're a vegetarian, then or vegan, from all the seeds. So when you sprout it the mung dal, it becomes a source of high source of vitamin E. We don't say to top up with the vitamin E in capsules because it's sometimes turned into carcinogenic, especially vitamin A and E. So therefore, they are absorbed by the liver. All the fat soluble vitamins are absorbed by the liver. So if you eat a good amount of all the fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, K, they're absorbed by the liver, and you don't have to top up every time. So for 3 months you can have a good diet, and then it will be absorbed and it will be taken care of for the last other 3 months.
So better living food with the sprouts, because the vitamin E and A capsules, it can sort of go rancid, let's say the oils.
Yeah, and they can cause a little bit of liver problem because they're heavy on the liver too. Okay, so the mung dal pancake recipe is a very simple recipe which I tell to my patients when I'm working at my clinic too. So you have to just soak any type of mung dal which you can get. So either the split one or the yellow one or the whole one, just 2 cups, soak it in overnight. Just drain the water, and to add and make it more proteinicious, you can add some 1 cup of spinach to it while grinding. And then you can chop your vegetables like green capsicum, tomatoes, spring onions, a little bit of a coriander, and just add a little bit of salt and pepper to the mixture which you have grinded. And just take a non-stick pan and put some coconut oil or ghee, whatever you have got in your pantry, or any oil you like, and just round it up the batter which you have grinded with the spinach and mung dal, and pinch of salt and pepper, and throw some fresh tomatoes, capsicums or coriander on the top, and just toss it until it turns a little bit of brown. And then you can make a fresh green chutney or anything. Even you can eat with tomato ketchup if you don't have. Otherwise, it tastes really nicely on its own. And then you can have a cup of a green tea or something, and it's very nourishing, and you feel really a sense of full, like it can keep you full for more than 3 hours because it's a complete protein. It's just a protein on its own, and it's very refreshing too. So
what do you put in the chutney?
Chutney, we just take it's a very simple recipe. Just if you can do with the mint if it's growing in your garden, or coriander, so you can just wash a bunch of coriander or mint, or you can take together if they are growing, and then you add 1 slice of ginger, because ginger is very good for immunity. It's very good for digestion. So people who have got weak digestion, we normally tell them to eat a little bit of more ginger, because it helps in increasing our digestive enzymes and breaking the food.
Just a little bit every day.
A little bit every day.
Fresh.
So fresh ginger, yeah. So
what about powdered ginger?
Powdered ginger is more concentrated. That is also anti-inflammatory. So if you don't have fresh ginger, you can always cook with the powdered ginger. And then in the chutney you can add, if you like, garlic, then just 1 pot of garlic, then half a squeeze of lemon, and if avocado is there, you can add avocado. If you want a little bit more flavor to it, you can add a bit of a desiccated coconut, and just wash it really nicely, the coriander, put it in a blender, and just keep on adding a little bit water to make it like a thin paste, and it's ready. So you can make a green chutney and mung dal pancake and have a nice breakfast.
So how do you wash your veggies? I understand a lot of people soak their veggies like for half an hour in a bit of salt, or some put apple cider vinegar. How do you get the extras off? I mean, I know people buy organic, but you can still have snails and slugs and slime on organic. So how do we get that off the veggie?
Yeah, so normally I do apple cider vinegar, organic apple cider vinegar. So I soak them like for half an hour, like in 1 liter of water, 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. Some people say soda bicarb too, but
I've seen that.
Yeah, but I think apple cider vinegar is easily available in our Woolworths and Coles and all the supermarkets, and you can find organic one, and just wash them really nicely, and probably cut the ends, because the grit is the main where you can get that sort of dust in your and the sand. So wash it nicely, and probably drain the water, excess of water, and see if it's still gritty. You can wash it a couple of times too, and just blend it in a blender. And because the vitamin A, like I said, and the nourishment, if you will eat more live food, like you said, it will be more refreshing. And some people say that I feel satiety. Satiety means you feel a feeling of fullness is there. And if you eat green chutney and all those things, you won't be quenching for your thirst too. So you'll be having all your vitamin B's too there.
Okay. That's really important, isn't it, to be satisfied after you eat? Because if the empty calories, the foods that don't have a lot of nutrition, we can eat, and then we sort of full, and then half an hour later, we're looking for more food. So we must eat high,
dense food.
Yes. High nutrition, the fruit
and
stage.
I normally give an example, like it's like a plant. So if you have got a plant and you're watering the plant every 1 hour or half an hour, so it will get into a shock. So the same is with our digestion. So if we are munching, then most of the people actually complain after that they have got acid in their body, because the body is not able to manage that sort of digestion. So because if you're eating full, then the body knows that now I have to work on it, and then the nutrition is there, side is there, and then it has to get the toxins out of the body. So but if you keep on eating, then the mind also is also boggled with like what's happening with the body. So it's basically, we normally say every 2 to 3 hours, because the stomach actually digest all the food between 3 to 6 hours. So in between you can have a healthy seasonal fruit if you're feeling, or you can make some sesame or laddus, sesame protein balls or date balls, rather than munching on almonds or cashews or all those things, because they're also heavy in oils.
Nuts can be fattening, they say.
And therefore people can have reflux or acid sort of a thing. So probably a little bit discipline with your food, every 2 to 3 hourly. Like the metabolism of men are pretty fast if they are working, if in the country, or if they are working, as a tradies, they need more, but I can understand. So but 2 hours gap is good. In between they can have a seasonal fruit or banana or whatever is there, rather than having coffees and other things, which is a good way to increase your immunity and not feel bloated or distended or acidic. Because if you put more in your body, you have to break it down. So that's the thing.
What about fasting?
Fasting is good, because if you're feeling lethargic, and if you're feeling acidic, and if you feel that fogginess in the mind is there, and you feel that you are eating well but still, then the fasting actually helps. This is a research being done on the body, that the body knows how to heal itself. So either you can fast on just plain teas or water. So according to Ayurveda, we say 8 hours fast is good. So you start in the morning and have your, we normally recommend any type of green tea or any type of Ayurvedic tea you can have. And then in between, if you feel hungry, then you can have a seasonal fruit. We don't recommend any heavy starchy food. We normally recommend like blueberries or grapes or something like that, or navel oranges, whatever, but on its own, not the juices, which you get out of the shell. And then in the evening, if you feel again hungry, you can have just plain steamed vegetables, because we don't want to put too much of pressure. So when you're fasting, we tell them to avoid heavy dairy, which is the heaviest to break down, the wheat products, all the breads. So
even a healthy sort of brown seeded bread is heavy, is it?
Yeah, because if you're fasting, then probably the body has to digest all the undigested particles, which we say in Ayurveda ama, the toxins. So firstly, we have to be careful that we should take care of our hydration. But if we eat bread, then again the body has to work loads, because it's starchy. It sticks to our walls.
Really?
So
Bread does.
Yeah, so like when we are making a dough, so we have to have more fiber. Therefore we say the fiber is the main. Now everybody is talking about the whole nutrition sort of a thing side is now concentrating on the fiber. So bowel health. So we should have a normal bowel health, like movement of our bowels within 12 to 24 hours is the best. So if we don't consume much fiber, so it says that 3 cups of fibers, and 10 glasses of lukewarm water is needed for our bowel health. So people think that they're just drinking water, but everybody now knows about water, but they don't know about the fiber. So the fiber is 3 cups of fiber. So which
Like
you have,
fruit.
like fruit, like we talked about spinach, green vegetables, and lots of, mostly people don't eat lentils, but then they can have some fritters or something, cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus, bok choy, celery.
Lentils, fiber.
Yeah, so they do different type of fiber.
Okay.
One is absorbed by the body and one is not absorbed by the body. So which is like sweet potatoes, pumpkins. So these fibers they are not absorbed by the body. So therefore they feel more glug, the fibers. So like if you have eaten celery, the fibers which are left, so they are very good for the gut health. So they act like scavengers. They take all the glug out of the intestine.
So then why do we eat sweet potato if it's not good for us? I thought it was
No, it's good for us, but the fiber in it they're soluble and non-soluble fiber. So the soluble fiber is like how we get the metamucil. So the metamucil is a non-soluble fiber. So it will fall the glug or the bowel, all the stool is formed by that. The soluble fiber is a different type of fiber, so which is absorbed, like more fructose and glucose and all those things what we eat, and it's a different type of fruits, so which is absorbed easily. So one is the leftover, so that is very important. So sweet potatoes are really good, especially the purple one. They are, we say they are shape of a pancreas, and they help in balancing all your insulin. So, and insulin resistance is another problem with people who eat a lot of carbohydrates, and they are craving for sugars all the time. They're craving for bread, they're craving for salt, they're craving, a lot of craving is there. So for them, it's to have a balanced meal, like we are talking, the first recipe we have already talked about. So, therefore, if you have a balanced diet, then it's the best solution.
All right. So what about eating multiple meals a day? That doesn't affect the insulin resistance then? Because they say we should eat 3 meals a day, but if we're going to snack in between on healthy fruits, like you said earlier, we might be eating like 6 meals a day, and that's all right? That won't affect our insulin resistance?
So the most important thing is that we have to understand what is a meal and what are the fruits and what is the wholesome diet. So therefore I run my cooking classes regularly to make them understand. So one is coming on 11th of May.
Okay.
On Mother's, I'm doing a Mother's special, so even the men are they can join in. So I'm doing at the Mount Barker Community Center. I've been running them for last 5 years now at the Mount Barker Community Center, and it's a really nice thing where you can come and ask as many questions about what is wholesome diet. So the wholesome diet is when we include all the 6 tastes, and then all the flavors which we have to say. We say all the elements of the food, where we are having astringent, sour, salty, alkaline, that sort of a thing. So, and all the 6 tastes normally are there on our tongue. So when they are satisfied, we feel full, sort of a thing. So most people eat only salt and sugar, but they don't eat more astringent or pungent, that sort of a food.
So astringent and pungent, for example, is what, like
greens, like all your bok choys are there, your lettuce is there, and then celery is there, asparagus is there. So they are, and then some people eat like a combination of more parsley, celery, and then all live food like mint, and then different herbs are there which are astringent, like lemongrass is very good. So lemongrass, ginger, they all are in those category. Garlic is very good.
Don't they call garlic a natural antibiotic?
Yeah, so it has got sulfur in there, which is very good. And the aged garlic has been now researched as it manages the heart diseases by reducing the cholesterol. It's a prevention, not for treatment. So you can
combine it in our diet.
Yeah. So you can eat 1 or 2 buds of garlic, but to mask the taste, after that you can chew some parsley.
Does that work though?
Yeah, it does work. So the parsley.
But isn't the garlic in the system, in the cells, and it takes a day or 2 to come out, doesn't it?
It does sometimes, but you can always make a parsley, chew some parsley or mint. We have got so much options there. But in between, if you put it in the food, And then we normally recommend to choose some fennel seeds. So the fennel seeds are more sort of a sweet and stringent, and aftertaste is really nice. So which normally masks the taste of the garlic too.
I should correct myself. What I meant to say is that I understand, yes, parsley and fennel helps, just after you've eaten it. But then once, like 3 or 4 hours later, doesn't the garlic smell still come out of the body and the breath?
You're consuming too much.
Too much.
So like people who consume more than 2 to 4 buds, then it's basic. Four garlic buds, then it's normally comes out like a sweat. You can feel that. But if you're consuming 1 or 2 during the cooking, just the small buds, then it doesn't come out like that.
So when you say bud, that's like a clove.
Yeah. No, the garlic one. The garlic. The whole of the garlic has got buds in there, different buds.
Yeah. So you've got the whole garlic, and then you pull the bits off the clove or bud. So interchangeably you could say they're all right. Just so I understand that bud is a clove.
Yeah.
Right. Got it.
So and probably try
just so we get the right amount.
Yeah. So
don't have too much, too little.
Probably the best is to get organic. It's very easy actually to grow garlic now. If you start putting garlic,
Excellent. How do we do it?
Mine is when I bought the property, it was already there, but you can always plant them, one at a time.
One bud.
Yeah, and it will start shooting, I think, in the end of June or July, and you can get lots of garlic in your garden.
So we just get 1 bud or 1 clove, and we just put it 5 centimeters down in the soil, and that's it.
Yeah,
and then we get
easy.
A whole bulb of garlic.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Yeah, and then you can. The more the live food, the more easy energy and nutrition. So we say live food means which has got full of vitamin A sort of a thing. So therefore you can have the shoots. And if you'll go to a normal local market or the Sundays market, you will find the shoots of garlic around July and season, which are really nice.
What markets do you go to around Adelaide?
Normally I go to the sometimes Central Market or the local shopper.
Okay.
So we have got nearby whatever local shopper we have got in Burnside, so I go to there.
Oh, I just went to the Goodwood Farmers Market yesterday for the first time, and I've been for the past month and a half been going to Wollonga Farmers Market. Brilliant. Yeah. A lot cheaper, cuts out the middleman, goes straight to the farmer. Yeah. Good produce, they're transparent and honest. They tell you, like you ask, is it organic, is it sprayed? Some will say what it is, which is organic, not sprayed, and others will say we put minimal spray. But they tell you, you can talk to them, you can look at them in the eye, and you know what you're buying.
Yeah, and if you buy these type of produce, they last longer.
That's true.
They really last longer. Like if I buy from the local shop, the parsley, it won't go off within 1 or 2 days.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so if they go off really nice, means within 1 or 2 days, they have very less nutrition.
Meaning they've had it stored in their fridges for a long time, and it's got pesticides on it. It's not
and the oxygen actually puts in all the things and just drains away all those things. So, but we have to means fresh, whatever fresh we can is easily available, so we can try. So don't worry about that too much. Okay,
so let's go to lunch.
Yeah, so everybody loves rice, and I think sometimes people get short of time that they just can just do the rice with more adding some almonds to it. So this is a recipe which really I like with the almond and jeera rice. So for that one you have to soak, we normally in Ayurveda we use the basmati rice. So which basmati rice has got a low GI index, so this basically doesn't flare, means spike your glucose level in the body. So for that one we use the whole spices. So the cumin seeds, 3 to 4 bay leaves, 4 cloves, peppercorns, 1 cinnamon stick, 1 teaspoon of ghee, and 1 glass of water. So we soak the 2 cups of basmati rice for 1 hour. So when you soak anything, any lentil or any rice, it just opens up them and reduce the phytic acid, which is like people say, oh, I eat something and then I feel acid. So it reduces the phytic acid, which is a natural ingredient on those things. And then it also reduces the cooking time. So if you get up early in the morning, like 6:30, and you are making your lunch to go to work, so as you get up, you can soak your lentils for 1 or 2 hours in hot water, and it will be easily, you can then cook it. So, and I normally use some saffron strands just to give them a bit of a zest, and half a teaspoon of turmeric. So the turmeric, everybody knows, is very good as an anti-inflammatory and antifungal, and it's boosts your body's immunity, and it's very good for all the colds and coughs too. So you can take a pan, put the ghee and cumin seeds, bay leaves, cinnamon, cloves and black pepper, and turmeric powder, and just toss it, and then saute for 2 to 3 minutes. And then you can put some of your almonds. If you want to add some pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds to it, so you can add that too. So, and just roast it for a couple of minutes in that ghee and the flavored all the spices in there. Then you drain the excess water of the rice and just add the rice to it, and then again saute for a couple of minutes, and then add the saffron to it.
What's that, saute it for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, sort
The
of.
rice?
Yeah, so just for a couple of minutes, so that it mixes easily with the spices, all the aroma.
So you soak the rice for an hour in boiling water.
Yeah, not in boiling. Yeah, boiling water.
Boiling water.
Yeah.
And then you saute the rice.
Yeah, you drain the excess water.
And then saute.
Yeah, saute with the spices.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. So because you have to do 2 different ways.
Yes.
So you can either boil the rice in that same water. After draining, you can put more excess water, or you can just do saute the rice in with the spices and then cook them together.
Oh, so that's it. The rice is cooked. You don't, because I thought you needed to cook rice on the stove for 10 minutes to boil it.
That's what I'm saying. You have to add to the spices and then boil it for.
Okay. So after the sauteing.
So first we'll start soaking the rice. So the soaking is the rice. If you put in a cold water, then it will take a bit of a time.
Right.
So therefore we put either lukewarm or warm water just to soak it up, just to open it up and drain the excess water. But if you want to boil the rice again, you can boil it separately and drain the excess water. And then you saute all the spices, almonds, pumpkin seed and sunflower seeds in a pan, and then mix them together, and then just it's cooked easily.
But is there an option of not boiling? Like if you miss that boiling step, can you just go straight onto the pan?
No, then it will be just
yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify that.
So you can just boil the rice separately. Like sometimes people have got boiled rice which is lying there, so you can use this almond jeera mixture of spices and add them to it, and then it can just give a new flavor to it and new taste to it, and it will be sort of a you will get a sense of full because it's got all the proteins in there. The almonds is there, pumpkin seeds is there, sunflower seeds in there, and you can eat with your favorite yogurt, whatever you're eating, or you can make a cucumber raita or just a carrot raita. We normally just grate the carrots in your normal yogurt, you know, the natural flavor, or the Swiss style yogurt. Greek style is sometimes too acidic, so we don't use in our Ayurvedic cooking because it's very tardy. And
is that because it's full fat?
No, it's the sourness.
Oh, right. It's just a bit stronger, isn't it?
Sourness is, according to Ayurveda, we don't use too much of sour food because it can cause inflammations.
Oh, okay. All right.
And if somebody already has got a sore throat, then it will just be more tickly. Like it's like if your hand is burned, if you put that sourness or a lemon or sour yogurt, it will burn. So same is the body. So we normally neutralize it with roasted cumin seed on the top.
Okay.
Yeah. So if any confusions are there, so you can take my number and reach me to.
Yeah. What's your number then?
Yeah. So it's 8133 which is my clinic number, or my mobile number is 044 966 8533, and the website is ayurvedawellbeing.com.au, and you can email me at ayurwellbeing@gmail.com if you have any queries, because I know it's a radio show and we are going a little bit trying to cover as many things.
We're trying to cram it all in. We might need a part 2. Part 3. Well, we're part 2 today. We might need a part 3.
Yeah, so we are trying to do our best. So just to help everyone to cook a simple dish. So then.
So if can we get to dinner? It's just I'm just looking at the time. We're sort of heading towards the end of the program.
Yeah.
Did we finish lunch?
Yeah. So we
All
did
right.
a almond and jeera rice there,
That's
and then
finished,
we
yes.
can, because zucchinis are easily available, and then coconut is. So we have to eat something really filling in the evening, so we can
Okay.
have zucchini and coconut curry.
Okay.
So for that one, you have to just buy 1 cup of coconut milk or coconut cream, and then 4 medium-sized zucchinis, washed and diced finely, and then 2 medium size of tomatoes, 1 inch of ginger, 1 fresh bunch of coriander or parsley, bit of a black pepper, half teaspoon of garam masala, and you can either use 1/4 teaspoon of asafoetida. If it's not available, you can always ring me. I have got ampers of that, or you can just use 1 bud of clove of garlic, and 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. And normally we try to use more fresh herbs and fresh spices, sort of a thing. If you want to add fresh turmeric to it, just a little bit of turmeric is good. And then 1 teaspoon of cumin seed, coriander seed powder, and if you like chili, you can always add 1 chili to it. So, and we don't add too much of salt, because sometimes the flavors of salts are masked by the other things. So normally when the food is cooked, you can add a pinch of rock salt according to your taste. And the minimum salt you take, the minimum is better, because according to the nutrition side of the body also, we don't need too much of salt, because it bleaches out excess of calcium out of the body.
Interesting.
And it causes different inflammation. So even eating just too much of salt can cause inflammation in the body. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, so put ghee in a pan and add the cumin seeds and other spices and let it fry for 2 to 3 minutes. And when the cumin seeds turn brown, add the diced zucchini, tomatoes, ginger, and fry for 5-7 minutes. Cover the lid, because we don't add excess of water in there. We cover the lid because zucchini itself has got more than 60 to 70% water. So covering the lid will also get all the nutrients in. So you simmer the flame and let it cook for at least 5 minutes. And if you're cooking on a very slow heat, it won't stick on the bottom. And then add 1 cup of water and let it cook for 10 minutes. And if it needs more water, you can add 1/2 cup of more water. And when the zucchini start becoming soft, you add the 1 cup of coconut milk to it. So
amazing. That just lifts it, doesn't it? The coconut milk.
Yeah.
Can you use coconut cream as well?
Yeah, you can use the coconut cream. So if you're using coconut cream, that's a bit thicker, so you can just use 1 or 2 teaspoon of that one.
Is that all?
Yeah, or a tablespoon in a dish.
Really? Oh
yeah.
God, I've been putting too much in.
Yeah. So 1 or 2 tablespoon is more than enough. So I normally buy the small tin so that it finishes in within 1 to 3 days. And then you cook the zucchini till it become really nice and mushy, and and then you can add the coriander or parsley on the top and serve it with the jeera rice or your favorite chapatis or favorite roti, or you can just eat it with a naan bread.
Very
and
good.
Enjoy. So today we covered a lot.
Excellent.
So, and my favorite is basically the mung dal pancakes, which are really easy, and you can keep the batter for 2 days, and it doesn't go off. So if you are in a tight lid, you can just put in there.
Excellent. All right. Okay. I think that's it. Anything else?
I think we have covered a lot.
And you gave your website.
Yeah, I gave my website, and I'm just nearby to the city. I'm on 50 Kensington Road, and my clinic name is Ayurveda Wellbeing and Nutrition Center. And I have been practicing Ayurveda for the last 14 years and nutrition, and I have recently been awarded as the Community Alliance Award by the Indian Society of Sydney.
Congratulations.
And
you know what you're talking about. That's what we like to have you here.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to come and consult, they can always contact me. And if you want more information, I'm always running private cooking classes for people who are interested. And hopefully we can start recording them on the Zoom, and then people can see and buy them too.
Do you have a YouTube channel or anything like that?
Not at the moment. Probably I'll start soon.
Yeah.
I think too much on the plate. But they can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Karuna Jaiswal Facebook, and Instagram Karuna_healing. So I do
Excellent.
post few recipes. There are, I think, around about 10-15 recipes there. So they can have a look.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming in.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Bye-bye. Namaste.